The C-SPAN networks bring you long-form public affairs programming from the nation's capital and are a public service of your television provider. C-SPAN, created by cable.
I want to ask you, Ruth, if you would feel comfortable. We've paid attention and we've noticed a journalist recently, a Jewish journalist, who profiled Melania Trump in a way the Trumps thought was less than favorable. And she's been targeted by terrible anti-Semitic harassment online. Very ugly, shocking. You identify as a Jew in your columns once in a while. Tell us about what happens to you online.
So it turns out you actually don't have to. I do actually write about my Judaism when I think it's relevant to what I'm writing about. So my mom and I took a trip to Berlin, which because my dad passed away and he would never let her go there, but now he's gone, so we went to Berlin. We, did the we actually, and at the time, Ben Carson was making all these really repulsive Holocaust analogies. And so I told him about all the places I thought he should go to in Berlin to really understand what Nazi and Holocaust analogies were part of. And so when it's relevant, I bring up being Jewish in my column. But it turns out you don't have to bring up being Jewish to be attacked for being a Jew. And it happens. It is actually, it would be wrong to suggest that it's something new and a sort of ugly new phase of our society, because in my experience, which is now probably into its 4th decade in Washington, people have, there has always been a small group of people who can only see you through the lens of your religion or ethnicity or gender. One of the things I really love is the people who email me and they address me as Ruthie, which first of all really pisses off my mother. And second of all, it is always followed by something that is condescending, demeaning, nasty, and belittling. And so there's always been some group of people since I started writing for the Post many years ago who, will they used to cut out the thing and write Jew bitch on the thing and mail it to you as if you're like, oh, I'm surprised. That's who I am. Thank you very much. But the mechanisms of modern communication have made that so much easier, because now you actually don't need a postage stamp to call me or Julia Yaffe or anybody else a Jew bitch. You can just tweet it. You can email me. You can, leave a message on my voicemail. It's all very easy. And it happens. And usually I think that the best way to deal with that is when it's, kind of low-level anti-Semitism. It's just like a little virus in society, and it's maybe not be the right thing to say at the ADL. Usually, I have ignored it. This summer, I think it was this summer, I was on Face the Nation, and some guy just started tweeting about all the Jews on the panel. I was with Ron Brownstein, who, has a Jewish name, but I don't think he's not observant Jew. Sorry, Ron. And I just decided to respond to it because I thought that the Times really demanded it, and I was afraid that it was a little self-referential and self-indulgent, but A, it made me feel better, and B, it got a really good response just to sort of stand up to it as Julia did and to say, you know what, in this day and age when candidates are saying that there should be religious tests for who can be president, when candidates are saying there should be religious tests for who can enter this country, this was the moment I thought for her and me to stand up and say, this is not an acceptable piece of our discourse.